This meeting of the Watuppa Water Board will come to order. Roll call, Mr. Furlan.
President Pearson,
Present.
Member Pennell,
Present.
Member Ferrer.
Present.
Thank you.
First item on the agenda is the open meeting law. Pursuant to the open meeting law, any person may make an audio or video recording of this public meeting or may transmit the meeting through any medium. Attendees are therefore advised that such recordings or transmissions are being made whether perceived or unperceived by those present and are deemed acknowledged and permissible. Mr. Furlan, first item on the agenda, please.
The first item is citizens input. Anybody who wanted to submit citizens input could have done so by today, January 21st, 2021 by 11:30 by submitting it to water@fallriverma.org. We did not have anybody submit anything for citizens input.
Mr. Furlan, we need a roll call on that, please.
There's no motion needed and no vote needed.
Very good, thank you. Mr. Furlan, item number 2, please.
Item number 2 is minutes of the previous meeting, October 21st, 2020.
Is there a motion to accept the minutes of the previous meeting?
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion is unanimous. Roll call, Mr. Furlan.
Yep, President Pearson,
Yes.
Member Pennell,
Yes.
Member Ferrer.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Furlan, item number 3, abatements per the leak abatement policy, if you would.
Packet, you received a list of the eligible leak abatement policies. Well, the ones that were reviewed since the prior submission. These have been reviewed by our staff. There are 5 on there that are recommended to be denied, and the rest are recommended to be approved. The total number is a number of 17. And the total cost is, the total credit given back to the customers in this one is $7,349.76.
Is there a motion to accept the abatement per leak abatement policy?
Motion to approve the abatements.
Second.
Motion passes unanimous. Roll call, Mr. Furlan.
President Pearson,
Yes.
Member Pennell,
Yes.
Member Ferrer.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Furlan, item number 4, if you would, please.
Item number 4 was a response from the Attorney General's office in relation to an open meeting law complaint that was filed. They did have some comments and some recommendations. I believe that we've complied with all their recommendations within this meeting's agenda, and we will in any moving forward. The one thing throughout this, I hope that all of the members do review this just for their own edification. The one thing that they did require in the conclusion is that all board members take a webinar on the open meeting law that would be available online to be able to take that class, and we request all that to be done within 60 days of receipt of this, and that we submit a letter to them stating once that is complete.
Chair would recommend that we all comply with that and let Mr. Furlan know when you have done so.
Yes,
Yes.
Very good.
I would recommend it if the board would like a vote to take this and place it on file.
Chair will make such a motion. Is there a second to the motion?
I'll second.
Roll call, Mr. Furlan.
President Pearson,
Yes.
Member Pennell,
Yes.
Member Ferrer.
Yes.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda, Mr. Furlan, is item number 5A.
Yes, correct. So 5A is a memorandum of understanding between the City of Fall River Water Department and the Fall River Police Department. The police department has requested, and they previously requested, to put microwave antennas on some of our water storage tanks. Seeing that this is a benefit to all the residents of the city, surrounding areas, which are also our ratepayers, the revised MOU does not have any cost to be paid to the water department. That was the minor change within the updated MOU.
Is there a motion to accept the report?
I'll motion.
Second.
Motion passes unanimous. Roll call, Mr. Furlong?
President Pearson,
Yes.
Member Pennell,
Yes.
Member Ferrer,
Yes.
Mr. Furlong, item 5B, please.
The next thing is a modified agreement with outdoor living. So this would be a license to license the area of land that they had been encroached on. Mike, would you like to present on this?
Sure.
License agreement?
Yeah, so,
Mike, could you just let everyone know who you are, please?
oh, sure. Mike LaBosse here. I am the Water Department, Watuppa Reservation Forester, and I work out of an office on 2929 Blossom Road in Fall River. A couple of years ago, a number of years ago, a neighboring property, a property adjacent to land that the city owns in a sonnet, which was associated with some water resource areas that we own in a sonnet, came before, wrote a letter to the city asking to actually wanted to buy a portion of land adjacent to her facility. A few things have happened over the years. At the time, we responded negatively that we would not want to sell the property, but we said we would consider some kind of lease or license agreement with her. Since then, the business changed hands and actually changed names. It's now called Outdoor Living. They are an earth materials sales business. In the course of doing their business over the last couple of years, they've encroached upon the city's property somewhat, but they were still interested in pursuing some kind of an agreement. So we measured off the area that would be, that they were already using, measured it off. It didn't jeopardize anything that we were doing with the property. It's vacant land. And we came up with some terms and conditions of a license agreement where they, where the new owner would license this portion. I think it's less than a quarter of an acre. It's not all that large. I think there might be an attachment with supplied for this meeting. And basically we proposed to license it to him, using it for storage of, gravel, sand, maybe firewood, other materials such as that, and in accordance with those terms and conditions.
Yeah, so this would be a lease. It is for $200 per month, and then increased year to year based on the Bureau of Labor Statistics Index, the Consumer Price Index. They wouldn't be required to carry insurance while they're using the property, and they would need to continue to make those payments. This has been reviewed by the law department in the past. If the board does approve, I would only recommend that if there's any minor legal changes that need to be made that doesn't change the overall intent of the license agreement, that I request that the board allow those to be made without having to come back to the board.
With that being said, is there a motion to accept the report?
I'll motion.
Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
The chair will make it unanimous. Mr. Furlong, roll call, please.
President Pearson,
Yes.
Member Pennell,
Yes.
Member Ferrer,
Yes.
thank you.
Furlong, item 5D, if you would, please.
Yes, so 5C would be a payment agreement with Bay Coast Rowing. as this board knows, Bay Coast Rowing, also known now as the Watuppa Rowing Center, leases a property from us, the former Dave's Beach Pavilion that the Water Department acquired a couple of years ago. That lease agreement went through the Water Board, went to City Council, was approved. The Bay Coast Rowing Organization is a startup organization, and they had some issues with payments of the lease. With talking with them, once you determine that the lease payments weren't being made, once having some discussions with them, they have a very good, passionate board now that is really determined to be able to move forward with what's going on. They really wanted to stay in that place. There really isn't anywhere else for them to go. They have invested a large amount of money and also donations of labor into the property. I don't know if anybody's been by the property, but they've redone the outside, painted a new roof, and they've done a lot of work on the interior of the property as well, between the board's efforts, volunteers' efforts. Diamonds work with them a lot. So I think it was in the best interest to come up with a plan to be able to move forward where, I don't want the Water Department not to get paid. I think the lease was gone into, and it's a fair lease, and they are responsible for the payments of that lease, but to give them some time to be able to defer some of the payments off. So what you have in front of you is a 2-year agreement that I drew up. What it does is it reduces their rental payment to $1,000 per month, and that would carry out until July of 2022. This was originally started January of 2020 when I originally started talking with them. They have continuously, to date, made the $1,000 payment. So they have been making those payments. Once we get to July 2022, they would have to make a lump sum payment. As of July 2021, they increased from $1,000 to $2,000 per month, and then in July 2022, there's a balloon payment of any of the back rent that is due. That would bring them fully up to date, and then moving forward, they would be responsible for the lease as the way it's written. This does not release them of any obligations within the lease. It doesn't change the lease at all. All it does is take their payments, defer them to a later date that's 2 years down the road. They felt that this was a comfortable timeline where they'd be able to be financially set at that point, where they'd be able to meet those obligations. So,
Mr. Furlan, thank you. It was well explained. I would add that we've been waiting on this project to actually get going, and it's taken some time. However, when this project gets going, I think it's going to be a great asset to the entire city, in as much as it could draw tourists into the city, so on and so forth. So I think we need to be diligent in waiting our due time, but we'll certainly keep everyone apprised and informed as time goes on.
yes.
Is there a motion to accept the report?
I'll motion.
Second?
Motion passes unanimous. Mr. Furlan, roll call.
President Pearson,
Yes.
Member Pennell,
Yes.
Member Ferrer,
Yes.
thank you very much.
Mr. Furlan, 5D, Copacabana Rifle Association license agreement, please.
Yep, so the Water Department owns a piece of land that we've leased out to the Copacabana Rifle Association for years. This is just off of Watuppa Road to the north of the Copacabana Reservoir. They are an organization that accept members to be able to use the rifle range up there. They do maintain the property and take care of the property. The lease agreement that was in place was very much outdated and needed some updating. What it also currently does is there will now be a payment where there was no payment in the prior lease agreement, except for $1 per year. This will increase their annual payment to $5,000 per year. Copacut Rifle Association is an association that does different community activities to try to open up their association to the communities. They have multiple events out of their range that are hosted by them, and gun people that want to use the range or other ranges come to their range to have these events. So they are a very active group. They also open their range up for local police departments and SWAT teams to be able to train on, because it is one of the long ranges and does allow for some higher powered firearms than other ranges. If you want, I can turn it over to Mike, and he may be able to do a bit more background.
Exactly what I was going to ask you to do.
Thank you.
Sure, thank you. So the footprint of the license agreement is approximately 14 acres in size. It's on a much larger parcel that people have for years called the rifle range, which harkens back to the National Guard using it during World War II. But it's been owned by the city since the 1940s. And this 14-acre footprint that the Copacut Rifle Association uses was actually an exclusion from the large bioreserve conservation lands that surround it. It was excluded specifically because this lease, their use was already in force of this property. They have proven over the years to be a very good tenant. They have not only maintained the property very well, because they had a good lease agreement, and they certainly wanted to honor that by being on their best behavior. They've also helped to maintain Copacut Road itself, which is a gravel road and gets a lot of wear and tear. So they've maintained that. They recently installed a brand new gate, a highly constructed steel gate. The facilities are managed well, and they have a stewardship plan, which they follow. They do the environmental things they need to, which includes, taking care to have a proper porta potty out there. So I think the city's enjoyed a good relationship with them. It's now a little more equitable for the city. It doesn't actually require much in terms of our own time and resources. Like I said, they take care of everything from the gate in, including keeping the driveway open, and if trees come down or things like that, their access is blocked. They take care of that. So I very, very seldom get a call from them, and I think it's a positive relationship, and I think the city enjoys their tenancy, and I think this is a good start to receive some income for our property.
Thank you, Mike. Is there a motion to accept the agreement, please?
Make a motion.
I'll second.
The motion passes unanimous. Mr. Phelan, roll call on the agreement?
President Pearson,
Yes.
Member Pennell,
Yes.
Member Ferrer.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Phelan, item 6, please. Updates on ongoing projects.
So the current ongoing project that we have, it's shut down for the winter. The Phase 19 water main replacements. All of the water main replacements were complete. In the spring, the contractor will be back to pave out for the asphalt mill and pave the asphalt. So that's about it on contract updates.
Is there a motion to accept that report?
Yes, make a motion.
I'll
Chair will
second.
second the motion.
Second.
Roll call, Mr. Phelan?
President Pearson,
Yes.
Member Pennell,
Yes.
Member Ferrer,
Yes.
Mr. Furlong, item number 7, please.
other potential matters, if any of the members have anything.
This would be what we used to call old business. Is that correct?
Other business,
All right. Does anybody have anything to add? Hearing nothing? Is there a roll call on item 7, please?
and there was no discussion, there's nothing on the table. I don't think that a vote would be necessary unless the chair requests one.
I think I'm going to request one just to keep us within the letter of the law.
President Pearson,
Yes,
Member Pennell,
Yes.
Member Ferrer,
This would be a vote to say that we took the item, correct?
that's correct.
Yes.
Is there a motion for adjournment, please?
No motion.
Motion is
Second.
seconded by the chair and by Mr. Ferrer. With that being said, the Watuppa Water Board is hereby adjourned. Roll call, Mr. Furlong?
President Pearson,
Yes.
Member Pennell,
Yes.
Member Ferrer.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you,
Yes.
Michael.
Signing off. Thank you.
Good to see everyone.